We have a big construction project kicking off tonight that is really going to slow down your Mother's Day plans. So westbound 696 from 75 to the Lodge is closing down tonight at 9 o'clock. But listen to this, going to be closed for more than a week. 10 days here until Monday, May 19th at 5 a.m. The detour, not a great one in this area, unfortunately. You're going to have to go southbound I-75, westbound Davison, northbound the Lodge to get back to westbound 696. We have 7 News Detroit reporter Brittany Toulis live along 696 this morning. And Brittany, you have been hearing from drivers who know this is going to be a frustrating 10 days.
That's the overall consensus from the drivers that talk to us, Allie. Now, I'm at the reason for this 10-day closure, the Church Street Bridge, and just take a listen to what the people who had to drive around this 10-day closure are having to say about it.
I guess it means like better highways and no potholes, I guess. What am I gonna do? They're gonna do it regardless of what I say. So just make the best of what we can and take some different routes.
It's going to create a lot of havoc. Because the mile roads are going to be busier than they already have been.
Now you're looking at the highway detour around this closure Allie was talking about a few minutes ago. For westbound 696 drivers, you'll take southbound I-75 to westbound Davidson, then take the Lodge north back up to 696. Now we wanted to see how long it'll take, so we drove the route this morning and it took us just about 21 minutes without traffic. Now here at the Church Street Bridge with me, I have Diane Cross from MDOT. And Diane, this is the reason for the closure, but just tell us a little more about the project.
This is the bridge that has to come down, and it's going to take roughly 3 weeks overall to bring down this bridge, which I think has about 170 concrete beams involved in it. It's quite massive. We need about 10 days for the westbound side. We're going to break up the bridge, beat out the concrete, drop it down to the freeway, and that's why we can't have any traffic underneath there. Eastbound side will do once this is done, and that part of the freeway is already closed. But because of the need for this bridge to come down, obviously you wouldn't want anybody driving underneath it. But when we do close it, we are going to leave one lane open for local traffic only. I say that because everyone's going to want to try to use that one lane from 75. You can exit at Woodward or at Coolidge. But just remember, close to 100,000 drivers are being detoured, and a lot of them are going to try to use that one local lane. So especially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you might want to look at other routes to make your way around westbound instead of planning on using that local lane.
So you mentioned it's going to affect thousands of drivers that are going to be driving or trying to drive through this corridor for the next 10 days. This closure starts at 9 p.m. tonight. Anything you want people to know over the next 10 days who are going to have to be driving around this?
Please know that it's always good to know more than one way to get to work or home, right? We all know that. We've all learned that when there's a crash or something like that. But while you as a driver look at it individually, realize that as MDOT, we need to move 100,000 drivers. So what do? We have to keep you freeway to freeway. So we're taking you from 696 south on 75, west on the Davison, that's M8 on your phone, northbound on M10 back to 696. It's about 25 miles. They won't have as good a time as you did at the time of morning that you took it. But, they probably do need to add at least a half hour to their commute. So we recognize a lot of folks may not use that. But legally, or morally, ethically, we need to think of 100,000 drivers.
So main takeaway, just give yourself some extra time no matter where you're going.
For sure.
Thank you so much for joining us, Diane. And Allie, there's going to be a lot of slowdown around this project, even if you're not taking the detour and trying to take one of those alternative routes. Allie, you have them covered. Just let us know how to get around this. But for now, live from the Church Street Bridge, I'm Brittany Toulis for 7 News Detroit this morning.
All right, Brittany, thank you so much for that live report. So leading up to that closure, we're going to have some work in place in Wells. So from Van Dyke to I-75, we'll have 2 lanes closed, leaving only 2 lanes open. Additionally, some ramp closures here from 75, both northbound, southbound to go to westbound 696, and the Cousins ramp closing down during this same time period here. Now, I did get an update on westbound 10 Mile. It's been closed near the zoo for quite some time, just west of Woodward. It is open this morning. Brittany and her photographer drove by, said it's open. But that being said, I did get an update from the Road Commission of Oakland County saying that striping still needs to take place in this area. So they could put those orange barrels back out for the day, but the goal is to have that striping done by the closure by the time that happens at 9 o'clock tonight. So I would avoid 10 Mile at least for today.